Here we go, guys. Caught red-handed. Doing nothing again.
Yeah.
Stealing a living yet again. So Toon's taking care of the hammock for the day. Give you an update on me plants.
You like to see my eye?
She got a poorly eye, guys. In fairness, the old hay fever. He's not looking good, is it?
Don't do that.
You look like a pirate. Yeah, so the plants doing very well. Show you my two other areas.
My plant.
Our plants.
My.
Look, I'll show you Toon's plant. Look, look, she goes crazy. Look what happens when I touch it.
Oi!
See?
Yeah, exactly. Don't touch too hard.
She didn't like me fingering her plant. Got all sorts here. It's not all set out as I'd like, but it was a bit of a race against time, getting everything potted up. Everything was on its last legs. Most of these are from the bargain basement. Toon's friend closing the nursery. She's got a stay of execution. I mean, she's not on death row, but she's not getting kicked out for until the end of this month. It was going to be last month, but she's got a little bit longer. Right, show you the other ones. So yeah, we went in and got all the scrag ends. A couple of you have been asking about our mulberry cuttings. I did a post on Facebook. Pretty straightforward how you do it. I put the big sticks straight in the soil in our new fodder area. These, I wasn't expecting much to happen with these, but I think out of all these, we've got four or five definite ones that have taken. So just a quick tip, go for this sort of size stick really. And when you cut them, hang on, let's find one for you, rather than just blah-de-blah, Leigh. So one of our mulberry brushes here. You're looking for a bit where it transitions from brownwood to greenwood. So let's have a look. This sort of thing. Not too fresh. Too fresh is super green all the way down. Very old is that sort of brown. So you're looking for something in between. And if you've got a really long bit of growth like this, then you'll see that it's green at the end, at the tip, and brown at the other end, somewhere in between. That's about the ideal place to cut them. Best time to cut them is straight after fruiting. I've got about, I don't know, about 70 cuttings off this one and the one in the front of the house. So not many left. Kai Muck keeps on stealing them when they're pink, but now we've cut them, you get new ones growing within a couple of weeks really. Very, very fast growing. Roots can be a little bit invasive. I wish they were more invasive, keep the weeds down. But that's more to do in the future. My garlic chive bed, the OCD bed, looking spick and span. As always, no weeds allowed.
Talk about your compost,
Little basil. Basil! One of the few remaining papaya trees. I need to grow some more. Now it's the rainy season. Still got a couple of trees to put in. This is an ornamental mango. Toon says that's a bush. Brilliant description. And there's a spiky fruit there, so that can't be too near the house.
My orchid!
Yeah, she's gone orchid crazy.
I don't crazy.
A friend was selling them and I said, let's go all in. Just grab them all, girl. Toon's pigeon pea. Doing very well. We should grow loads of this really. It's good for the goats. But I think you can only crop it twice. And then I think it's got to come out. So we're not into those sorts of crops really. Sometimes we do corn. We've got a bit of a rogue chilli plant in there as well. Doing the do. Seem pretty happy. Leave it there. Got a few seed heads from these flowers that are forming. We can collect those and throw them around the lake, I think. These are an interesting flower. I think Toon calls them Buddha flowers or something. These will start to develop roots after the flowers start dropping off. You just bury the hole or just lightly cover the seed heads and it all starts growing again. My 3 Leigh D cuttings, can't remember the name, Frangipangi or something. they've all taken. What are these, Toon? Lamier fruit?
Yeah.
So you could see what state these were in. I normally would take these leaves off, but they didn't have any other leaves. And now we've had them a few weeks, they've picked up nicely. So I'll probably give them a hard prune, get rid of the duff bits. And these are looking a bit scraggy. A lot of these have been split, taken cuttings. Anyone know what this one's called? I like to call it the rabbit tail fire penis plant. It's probably not the correct word though. Fluffy penis, Toon calls it. I don't know what penises she's been seeing that look like that. Right then, oh here's one for you. So we've been cutting loads of Napier, as most of you know, for the goats and any Napier sticks that have got roots forming. We don't put those through the shredder. One reason is because they might have a bit of soil on and therefore parasites, because we cut these in the morning so they're wet. So we've been pinning these in the new pasture area. And Toon's been getting a lot off site, so we've been getting these for free. Ram Man, he's got organic rice farm, he said, oh, you can go and cut your Napier from my farm. Although he's got goats, he hasn't got a shredding machine, so unless you cut your Napier really young, the goats can't get through it all. And Toon was there and she noticed that some was yellow in just a certain patch of them, and she rang them. She was like, look, have you been spraying? They said, no, we don't spray, honestly we're organic. We always thought they were anyway. What it was, someone had been spraying next door just before the rains, so runoff with weed killer. There you go. Just be careful. So Toon just cut it so no one else could cut it. If the root stocks do survive, then we'll put them in. The boys are still doing their thing. They're right over there at the minute. Kong has just spotted me. He might squeak and then they'll all come running, so I'll quickly move on. Obviously still running 2 goat houses. Still not selling any goats. Been trying to contact the main man. Still waiting for a reply. My tamarin is going well now. And I've just started the introduction of our, well, Operation Bananas. So along the roads, now that the goat herd is not allowed out here, I'm finally getting to grow my beloved bananas. So what I've been doing, each banana gets half a bucket load of inoculated biochar. There's a really big deep hole that I dig. That goes in there, half a bucket of goat poop, big buckets, mixed in with the soil that I've took out from the hole, and then I just mulch the top with another half bucket of the old jelly beans. We don't have to be cheap Charlies with the goat jelly beans here. We've got more than enough. I could probably put about 20 bucket loads over the top, but it won't burn them. It's mild enough. Yeah, so that's good. The eucalyptus will be coming out eventually anyway. So we've got a nice line of bananas along there, all about the same distance from the middle of the road. I'd love it if we could have them on the left hand side, but we've now got a water pipe running all the way to Goat Island, and we don't want any deep roots. I know bananas aren't particularly deep roots, but we only put the pipe in 30 centimetres deep. We don't want any of that poking into the pipe. So in here there's another banana. Got them off one of Toon's friends. She digs sort of like 10 or 12 up at a time, brings them, we pop them in. Oh, hang on a minute. Something making its nest down there. Bloody dogs. Not the dogs making a nest. So I've left a little bit of more of a gap there, because obviously these palms are going to come over with the canopies, and eventually they'll probably suffocate them out, but we should get a few years out of them here first and get some more pups off them. So I'm very happy with the soil underneath, and just started going down here, so I need to go and get some more jelly beans. I've been starting doing some heavy mulching with the goat spent fodder. There you can see I'm going to continue all the way down here with 2 bananas in between each palm. I would dearly love to do the same on this side. I think it would look lovely all the way down here with the palms growing nice and high, and then with the bananas inset a little bit. I think that would look lovely going down here. But the problem is, height of the rainy season, this is all underwater. So unless I mounded them up by about 2 foot, I'm not sure whether they would take it or not. I know bananas do like a lot of water, but they don't like to have the feet wet, shall we say. Oh, it's so hot. Not just the heat, it's like flipping pea soup. The air's so thick. And I've resorted to the old 3 t-shirt system again, which I implemented years ago, where you just keep on swapping your tops. Right, I've been, looks all dirty here, been dragging the hyacinth out. So although Macro Man scraped all this clear, excuse me, there was a lot of hyacinth down the far yonder, and then as we've had the heavy rains, it's washed a load down here. So as it comes down here, I just hoik it out with a rake and throw it over as a mulch. But look, ladies and gentlemen, our Napier area. Oh, fish come up there. Yes, definitely quite a few fish have been washed into here with water coming onto the land, runoff from elsewhere. Obviously stuff that like climbing perch and mudfish as well, the snakehead, they've been buried in the mud further up there, so we hadn't electric shocked or pumped all the water out there, and a lot of the hyacinths was protecting the soil, so there's a lot of mudfish in there. But I'm over halfway done with the Napier. Got all sorts growing along this side as well. We've got some big trees planted in there, lots of birds of paradise. It should look really good in the future. But yeah, I'm really happy with this. It's a labour of love. Well, no, that's a lie. I hate doing it. No, I don't hate doing it. Just keep thinking, keep focused that it's for the goats, and keep banging them in. But you can see it's we had big rain last night and it's rock hard now. Luckily Napier, once it's got its roots going, then it's pretty robust stuff. So I was hoping like to get it all balanced, and before we had it all balanced, you know, like a fine till, we're going to cover it with the biochar and the goat muck, but it wasn't to be. Here's one of the areas that I've banged in the old mulberry sticks, so they all look as dead as anything, don't they? But they're not. Look at that little beauty. So a few will not make it. I tended to keep the bigger sticks for down here. God, it's like a moonscape again. This is like going back a few years, isn't it? So it's feast or famine. When you get the heavy rains, it's like a bog up to your knees, and then as soon as you get a bit of sun on it, it goes like concrete. So it's not really fit for anything else. The mulberries and Napier. The Napier will help break the soil up a little bit, and introduce nitrogen into the soil as well. Create a lot of biomass with the leaves that fall off. So yeah, you can see I've still got quite a long way to go down here, but it's a lot narrower, this section. I should be able to get that done by the end of the year. It is a race against time, because although it does soften when we get the rain, obviously, it is becoming more and more compacted. So I need to pull my finger out and get that big basket full that I showed you earlier, get that in today. We are forecast for rain earlier today, so fingers crossed it happens. Yeah, so ideally bananas all the way up to here. I'd love that. I do like banana plants, and they're fantastic for the goats, not just for us. Great if you got a goat with an upset stomach, you can give them unripened bananas, give them a few of them, that settles the stomach right down. They love the leaves, and then although our shredder isn't really up to it because it gets clogged, it's just the wrong style shredder for banana plants. You can slice up a banana plant, a decent sized one, in about 20-25 minutes, and there's a good old weight to them, sort of like 40-50 kg. So yeah, bananas for us, bananas for the goats, leaves and the trunk for them as well. It's great stuff. Everything growing nicely now. We're still well down on rainfall compared to what we should be getting this time of year, although it's looking lush. The lake, although it's coming up I would say about 3 inches a day, it should almost be full by now. It's El Nino for you, apparently. We weren't expecting to be feeling the impacts of droughts for another year, but it seems like they've got it wrong, and we're getting a taste of things to come, guys. So it's not sort of like theorists or anything, just sort of like having being all pessimistic and doom and gloom. It is, you know, we are all going to be affected by it, the old climate, for the next 3 years. So get your ponds dug, or get another one dug, or dig them deeper and hold on as much as you can, hold on to as much as you can, because we could be in for it big time. Let's show you the ponds, so give you an idea here. So down still, but if you come here, we haven't pumped any water at all. Look at that. Now, I can't remember, it can't be more than a month ago, I was netting walking catfish in the mud down there. There's a good 5 meters deep from the top of the lower shelf there. So that's how much has come back all on its own. So hopefully the Julian's golden prize carp and the grass carp are doing all right. They do come up to the top, but you don't really see them much. Toon's little wild water catchment area starting to fill up here. The old tilapia pond as well. So we've got about, I would say, about another 3.5 to 4 foot to go before we're at full capacity to that. Yeah, let's have a look round here. You'll see these, I'll call them ship machines, all those white and grey birds, big ones over there, open billed storks. They're after the big apple snails, and well, they eat just about anything, crabs, snails. Right then, the old bananas. Got one here, I'm going to cut it down, although it's flowering. Look at the state of it, the sorriest state of a banana tree that I've ever seen. So it's had the old beetles in there, so I need to get that down before it falls down. And goats love these, we love them actually. Toon does no fish cakes using banana leaf, but she also steams them and then sometimes just has them raw. So they're fantastic. Not enough to fill me ball bag, that, look. I need to hack this coconut branch down, or frong, run that through the shredder tomorrow morning. Tamarinds, I might take some of these lower branches off just to try and free them up underneath a little bit, and then when we're looking from the house along here, we've got a better chance of seeing people's head torches. It's hunting season now. We don't hunt poachers, but yeah, there's people out with head torches. Thankfully, a lot of the time it's Toon's nephew, and he helps to keep an eye on the land at the back of the farm, so that's a good help. But we haven't had any dramas since Mr. Naughty Pants was in our secret Narnia pond right down the far yonder. Amazing. It's only about 2 weeks ago Toon cut all this for the goats. Come back now, I call it the hedgehog grass. Got some round the lake here. Yeah, fish everywhere. First thing in the morning, if you've had rain the previous evening, they're all sort of like patrolling along the surface. Unfortunately, it's going to be another year that passes before we can drain and net the fence pond. Never mind, they're not going anywhere anyway. It's too deep. That one's about 6 meters deep, and it's got about 1 meter of clay in the bottom. Right here, this is taking a little bit longer to kick back into life, mainly because last year we had to, well, right up till about February, we had to let the herd out here. We just couldn't create enough food for them on the land in the dry season. And I thought they killed all the bananas, but hey ho, we've got one down there, one in the middle here, one there. We've also got some canners that have sprang back into life. Eddie's aquatic plants come back into life as well. Some tapioca sprouting back up. Brilliant. Everywhere looks and smells horrible at the moment. The neighbouring lands, they're just flat out doing their rice at the minute. So when they churn everything over, it all starts to rot. It is minging. It's not a smell that I actually get used to. But you wait 1 month, it's just going to be like a lush green carpet all the way around here, and it'll look beautiful. So yeah. I should have ran back and got the camera the other day, but it was so hot out here, I bottled it. But we had all the big baduk, the walking catfish, all in here. They were on top of the grass, spawning away. It was fantastic to see. Stood under the tree for a little while just watching them, but yeah, some beauties, absolute beauties. I know they don't grow huge walking catfish, but there was quite a few over 10 pounds easy, some approaching 15 pounds. Oh, right. Show you where Fangorn Forest used to be. Canal full, proper full. Yeah, the morning glory coming back. You can't keep a good morning glory down, can you, eh? So, this is what I wanted to talk about, really. What the heck are we going to do with that? We're too late now, we can't get Microman in. The time has gone. So, it's a shame. That's the open build stalks. Got a freshwater clam out of the lake. Still plenty in there though. Yeah, there's, we'll have to wait till the next dry season now. You can't get a macro in there, it'll just cut everything up. So yeah, we need to develop this. If we just pan back, the bit that I just walked round showing you where I put the Napier in is there. And then we've got a skinny bit of land going about across the side next to the road there. So you've got the road the far side, then a thin strip of land our side, and the drainage canal all the way down here. So from over there to over here, we're not doing anything with. That's got to be 20 rye, 25 rye. So now we don't have the goats in there, and we don't want the eucalyptus in there. We've got 20, 25 rye to develop. I've got the idea of these raised areas down here, maybe in long strips, maybe do more palms, maybe do, I know Toon wants some dates, but they're quite expensive. I'm pretty sure they'd be at risk if we put them down here, and well, someone could just jump over the fence and harvest a load of dates without us ever knowing. It's different when if they come round the lake, then you can see the head torches around here. So I'm not sure about that. So I don't know. Don't know whether a food forest, don't know whether just a big forest of mixed woods. I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Absolutely not interested in monocrops, annual crops, things like that. I do little patches of corn and stuff like that now and again, but it's not really what we're after, guys. So yeah, something that it would at least get 3 or 4 years out of. Grasses are coming back good now. There's no goats on here. Morning glory, going crazy. I can start picking that and give them to the fish soon. Give some to the goats as well. But yeah, look at it. It's just such a huge area. It never felt big when we had 60 odd goats in there. I know we got 80 now, but we never had 80 out here. So yeah, I mean, it's a fair size plot of land on its own, never mind with everything else we've got. Yeah, we've still not developed the goat island. There's a very good reason that there has been talk about in Thailand changing the land papers over from Supplegore to Chinotes, in which case the soil can leave the land and all that could come out. We could end up with one of the biggest lakes in Thailand. So yeah, we'll just keep it like that, and sometimes we'll let the goats out if we have to. But yeah, we don't want to sort of like invest time, effort and money developing that, and then in a few years maybe we can change the paper and develop it further, or at least take all the high stuff off around there, because the goats aren't allowed on it anyway, really, not for intensive grazing or browsing. We could drop the level right down, and then yeah, well, I don't know, just talking out loud. Oh, talking bollocks again, Leigh. Yeah, what do you reckon? We've always fancied a farm, but it's never going to happen. We could divide it up into lots, couldn't we? There's an idea. Divide it up into lots. You choose your lot, say like a raised area, so it's not underwater for 6 months of the year. We're like, right, Toon and Leigh, your farm, plot so and so. I want 10 dates there, 10 coconuts, or 10 palms, yeah, or 100 bananas, something like that. What do you reckon? Anyone interested, drop us a line. We could measure it all out for you and yeah, plant it all up. Oh, I've got to head back, it's so hot. So hot. I saw on Facebook memory just before I came out. It's what sort of like kicked me in the pants to come out and grab the video camera. And it was a memory photograph from 8 years ago, and it was one of my final health and safety courses that we were running for some management company. And it was a photograph that I took of the classroom where I was setting up the old PowerPoint presentation. And on there it was management arrangements. So that was always document day. So for people to do, managers to do their risk assessments, safety programs, permit to work, all that sort of thing, and then auditing process. I just can't believe that was me. Only 8 years ago, hey? Look at me now. Bloody right state. One of our very good friends who comes out here quite a bit, he was saying, Leigh, you're the richest man I know. I thought he's soft in the head, mate. But I think he got it right. I think so. Big fire there 2 nights ago. Burnt everything off around their pond. No idea why. Headache 3 days ago. Someone was spraying over there. They didn't have a drone. A lot of people using the drones these days so they could... You heard of the dove from above. It's bloody death from above, isn't it? So, yeah. Instant headache. Irrelevant of which way the wind's blowing. Yeah, stick a drone up in the air and spray God knows what everywhere. Fantastic. There you go. There you go. Oh, the old squirrels on the... 2 squirrels in the mango tree. Had a lot of, I think the parakeets, a lot of them this year, stealing the old mangoes as well. Buggers. Do like my mangoes. Yeah. Oh, he's in that one as well. Oh, I don't know whether it's so so thick undergrowth, so thick growth. This tree, we did prune it massively 2 years ago, and we had a bumper harvest. This is where we had 7 bees nests in here at the same time. The old monitor lizard likes being in here sometimes, trying to get the bird eggs, I think, and the squirrels as well. It's a cracking tree, isn't it, eh? Cracking tree. And sometimes we get the termite mud mushrooms underneath, but they're the black variety. We haven't got them anywhere else on the land. But don't get them every year. Haven't had the elephant foot mushrooms either. But yeah, these old mango trees. These are what Toon's dad put in donkeys years ago. Still here today. Brilliant. They're our 2 most productive trees. So thanks, Dad. Coconut trees always struggle here. I don't think that one's going to last much longer. Look at the state of it. Organic. If you can't survive without chemicals, mate, your time is numbered. We will not compromise. It's like the farm stays here. You know, you got to man up. So, you know, if you're not up to it, game over. Leading on nicely onto farm stays then. Yeah, if you fancy a farm stay, get in touch, but don't leave it too long if you want to come this year, because as from towards the end of October, we're then fully booked up to late December. So if you want to squeeze a visit in, then don't hang about, guys. 1,000 baht a day. Sounds steep, but it includes your accommodation in the village house. We feed you twice a day. You get a biscuit and you get a cup of tea. You get a full breakfast, Thai style, and evening meal. You get your tea and coffee included during the day, and water, and that's it. We just rag you to death. So there you go. If you think you can keep up with me and Toon, give us a bell, and we'll get it organised. Must pre-warn you though, guys, Pulpang farm stays are considered the hardest farm stays in Thailand, if not the world. So if you're a shy, retiring type, you won't be able to take the banter. If you're a lightweight, you won't be able to keep up with the jollities in the evening, including karaoke. And if you don't like the heat, I don't know how you're going to do all your jobs that we give you. So think carefully before you accept the challenge. As always, thanks for tuning in, guys. We do really appreciate it. And we'll see you again soon. Ciao, ciao. Oh, still there. Nothing wrong with your eye now, is there?
No, exactly not.
What you been doing? Oh, I don't know where you find the time. Oh, sickly child. Bye-bye for now.
Ta-ta.